Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of our WPF user control tutorial. In this part we are going to continue where we left off. Let's do a quick recap before we start our new tutorial. I'm gonna run this, make sure everything's still working. So we created this time picker user control, and we copied from one of our earlier tutorials. I'll probably be posting the code somewhere on my blog when I get a chance, or when I'm done with the tutorial, and paste the link in the description section. But yeah, we got two working user controls. We can create as many as we want to, and the way we created was well, again, you can do folder or no folder, that's up to you. If you have one user control, probably but still it's good to keep it organized so you know where things are. I prefer folders, and inside our folder we create our first user control. Again, the user control itself is very similar to your main project, main window, except you don't have the headings or the caption, and it's transparent pretty much. That's about it. And code wise it's very similar. Instead of window tag you have the user control tag, and code behind file says user control. Well, it inherits from user control, versus your main window inherits from window. Okay, those got similarities and differences, but you can't run the user control by itself. You have to host it in the main window, your page or window or form. Okay, so that's that. Let's get rid of one of these. We don't need two of these, but you get the idea. Okay, so we're going to start with a new control. Let's go ahead and add another user control. Add, select user control WPF, and I'm gonna call this my address. Okay. Alright, so we got our XAML file and design surface. I'm gonna flip my panes, and here what I want to do, I want to add actually make this a stack panel. Instead of grid, I want to use a stack panel and add some well, you know what, I'm not sure about stack panel. Maybe you could still use grid. Yeah, I'm gonna change this back to grid because I'm gonna need some columns and rows. So let's do that first. If you need the stack panel, we can still use it. So grid.column definitions, I'm gonna add let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe four rows and 2 columns. So column definition, need 2 columns, right? 2 columns, and add some rows. Let's add 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think that should be sufficient. I'm going to collapse the columns, but I'll see if we need more rows. We probably can add. So the first one here, I want this to be like the title. So text block here in the first one, text block. That's going to be a font size of 22 and font weight of light. Okay, the next text block is going to be here on the second row, first column. So text block grid dot row 1, grid dot column, I don't need to set that, that's 0. So if I don't have to set it, I won't set it. So this one's going to say street. Well, text going to say street. give some space, and I want this to be font size of 16, and I want this to be leaning towards right, so horizontal alignment is going to be right. Okay, alright, right here, that's not bad. I'm going to copy and paste this a couple of times. This one's going to say city, and this one's going to say state, comma, zip. Okay, and let's change the grid.row to 2 and 3. Okay, so you got our font size looks. Let me zoom this in a little bit because the fonts are looking terribly small for room here. So okay, that's not bad. Let's go ahead and go in our main window. Let's reference that user control. So we have the namespace here, so we should be able to use the same namespace, and this alias, we should be able to use the same alias, say UC my address. Okay, and we should be able to bring that in. Let's run this and see what happens. Okay, we got, alright. Why we don't have the other one, third one that we set to state and street? Let's see what's going on with that. State zip, actually, state zip, and this one grid dot. Oh, there's a margin here. I'm not sure where that come from. Let's get rid of the margin. And somehow the horizontal alignment changed to left on this one. Let's make that right as well. Okay, let's try again. Okay, not bad. So you see, I mean, it looks huge in here in our user control, like the size. I mean, you have the design time, height and width, but doesn't matter. It depends where you use it. It's going to change the size based on the font sizes, things like that, other properties. If you set the height, obviously. But let's go ahead and add some text blocks too. We need 1, 2, 3 text blocks. So text boxes. Sorry. Let's set the font size to let's go with 18 for this one. We could match actually the text blocks, but that's fine. And let's grid that column. Let's set the grid that column to 1. Well, actually, yeah, that's 1. And grid that row. It's going to be 1 also. It's going to match this one here, first one, street. And we're going to copy that a couple of times. Paste, paste. Let's change the row to 2 and 3 respectively. So we've got 3 text blocks here as well. Okay, let's run this again. Alright, it's coming to life. Alright, so far so good. So we got our address control. Again, it's a user control, so you can use it as many times as you want to. You can say, you see my address, and then you have another one. Okay. Alright, let's I want to do something with the top text block. So with this one we could do something like use a property. Let's try this way. Let's go to code behind file. Let's get a property, see what happens. So I'm going to go to my address control, open my address XAML.cs file, and I'm going to add a property here. It's going to be type of string. I'm going to call this address type. Okay. And I'm going to set the data context to itself. Equals this. Alright, so now technically we should be able to say let's see, title or text, finding title, let's see, okay, we bound this text block to the title, this one here. Let's see if we can set that in our main window. So let's see, title, if I say title here, actually, you know what, let's build first. And from time to time you'll see that triangle here with the warning. So anytime you make changes to your user control, you'll see that. It kind of signifies, okay, hey, you made changes, do you want to save your changes? If so, build again. Alright, so let's see if I can get the title property. Nope, I'm not getting it, but I'm going to try to set it anyway. Let's say shipping. Nope. Nothing. Okay, let's try the other way. Well, title, Jesus, my address type. Where did I get that? Where did I get the title thing? It's my address type. Gee. Alright. That's what happens when you're a little overworked. It kind of fries your brain from time to time. Okay, address type, we got that right, I think, this time. Let's see. Build this again. Let's try to set this time my address. My address equals. Still get an error. Was not found. Okay. Yeah. I'm still doing the same thing, right? Address type. Jeez, hello. Alright, let's call this shipping an address. And let's see if it works. Build. There you go. Alright, so you got your shipping address here. And this one, let's call this billing. Instead of shipping, let's say billing address. Okay, and let's run this. Alright, perfect. So you got your shipping address, billing address, all that good stuff. Okay, so that was pretty good. It's going to have its limitation doing this way, but probably the right way would be using dependency properties, but we're going to expand on this later on. So we got two new user controls, actually one, but we were able to use twice with different ways. Okay, so we add extra functionality. Let's go ahead and create another example with using code behind. So let's let's add a content control down below here. So I'm going to say content control and give it a name. Let's call this my content control. Okay, this one's gonna sit right below this one, the second billing address. So let's go to code behind and let's create a new method. Let's go private void create UC for user control. Okay, I'm going to say var UC equals new my address, and I think that's gonna give us error because we don't have the namespace up here. So I'm going to see if I can bring that in. I'm going to say using that namespace. Okay, now we should be okay with that. Alright, so once we create the instance of the user control, we can say my content control dot data context equals UC. Let's see if this works. Let's build this. I think it might be the content property, but let's try this. If it doesn't work, we'll probably switch to content. And yeah, so instead of data context, we're going to use the content property. Okay, let's try again. And we still don't have it. Okay, of course, we didn't call the method. Create UC, let's call it. Let's run again. Alright, now we got the third one. Third user control in code behind. Let's see if we can set the address type. Yep. Let's call this mailing address. Okay, let's run this again. And there you have it. Perfect. Okay, that's it for this part. In next part we'll probably get into data binding, and so until then, take it easy.